want you to think back to the first time you heard heavy metal music. Tell me about it. The first bands that you turned you on to what you guys do today.
I think I was probably still in the womb or just been born, and I was probably in the car and probably Van Halen or AC/DC was playing. So, there's no particular time or place that I remember heavy metal being played because it was around me all the time. Because
I agree. My mother, when she was pregnant with me, she put headphones on her stomach, like the whole pregnancy. So I know I listened to metal.
Was it Winger?
It probably was Winger. I was like, she's only 17. I'm spinning in the room, like, yeah. No, but it's something like that, I'm sure. It had to have been, because it's been around all my life.
What was your first concert that you ever went to see?
My first show was Ted Nugent in something ridiculous, like 1988 or 87 maybe.
Sounds about right.
And the only thing I really remember, there's two things I remember. I remember my father telling me to smell the air because it smells like weed. And he was like, remember that smell, it's pot. And the second thing I remember is Ted Nugent saying, I make pussy burn.
Yeah.
It's
had a profound effect on her.
Yeah, definitely.
Mine was, it was Gorilla Biscuits, Sick of It All, and Biohazard, and it was in New York City. I can't remember where. I was just a little, so I went to the show and I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do with my life, for sure. Well, I knew I wanted to be on stage, be a musician. I love music, so.
Of all the bands that you went to see when you were growing up, so were there any that you were fanatical about that you went to see 10 times straight, you chased, you tried to get backstage, the whole nine yards?
Biohazard. Biohazard's like my favorite band in the world, so yeah. I wasn't like, oh my God, anything like that. I would just always go to their shows because it was always like a bang up, smash up good time. Not like groupie style or anything lame like that. No.
I lived in Canada, so there wasn't a lot of really cool shows that came around all the time.
You weren't a fan of April Wine, Anvil, Razor?
Anvil! Holy
Metal,
God.
metal.
Oh,
yeah, you know, I
Anvil's
heard
awesome.
Isn't that the song, Metal, Metal, la, 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 la. That band is cool.
Hell yeah, Anvil
no,
rules.
you know what? I think I was too young to go to any of those shows when those bands were really around. Minus April Wine, I really never really liked them. They were kind of lame to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Back when you first joined or started the band, what was going on in your life at that time?
Well, I was in grade 7. I was in grade 7, and I was in school when I first started this band.
And you got drumsticks.
And I got drumsticks, and I went like this. It was really cool.
Was it out of the nickel and dime thing that you got the drum set?
You know what?
What was it?
I got my drum kit out of the penny saver.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was,
same thing.
It was kind of ridiculous because it was like a 200. It was something ridiculous. It was like a $200 drum set, and it was orange, red drum
Fabulous
set. And reminding you, this is Canadian money, so it's a little. And that's like in American money, that's $1. I was in school and I was not very old when I started this band.
When I joined Kittie, I was in a group called ATR, and it had just went from a band called Spine to Audio Terror Regime, ATR. And I had a lot of craziness going on, and they called, and that was the ultimate craziness, and I was like, word. So.
Very cool. Thinking back around your first album cycle, the recording, the touring, what were some of the bands that you toured with, bands that you liked touring with, bands you didn't like touring with?
We toured with a lot of bands. Mainly, actually, never mind. No, we didn't. We did a lot of. We did maybe 2 support tours. That's the only support tours we've ever really done either. For Spit, yeah, we did 2 support tours, which was we opened for Slipknot, and then we opened for Seven Dust. And I wouldn't really consider Ozfest a support tour just because it's a festival type thing. It's a little different than that. But I mean, really, we did 4 tours with Slipknot. That's like counting like Europe and Canada, and we did 1 U.S. tour with Seven Dust, and that was really the extent of our touring because we were denied tour support after that. So, but other than that, yeah, those are really. I mean, it's good times. I mean, I think Ozfest for the first album cycle was probably the best tour for us, just because it got us out there and we had a good time doing it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. And there's always something. I mean, every tour has a story. Every day has a story. Especially with us, because for some reason, trouble just seems to
follow us,
gravitate towards us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've had a lot of good times on tour.
Yes.
And we've also had a lot of really, really, really rough times on tour with a lot of the makeup and
the
bands that are like this. On
That
big
sort of
labels
band?
that get everything handed to them. Oh, I think they're called new metal bands. So, yeah, we've had a lot of problems with those kind of bands. But, I mean, that's why we like to take out underground bands. You know, I think the best tour experience we've had so far is probably this one,
Yeah.
which we're on right now, is Candiria, 36 Crazy Fists and 12 Tribes. And probably Shadows Fall, Killswitch Engage. And Poison the Well. Those bands, we got into a lot of trouble with them.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tours, as well as this one. This one's going very, very well.
Yeah,
but
we're having a great
we got
time.
strippers for the Cats and Poison the Well, and they had no idea.
Male strippers, actually. It was
Yeah.
the last. I orchestrated the whole thing. I was like, guys, we gotta get Poison the Well really bad on this last show. We bought the male strippers in Las Vegas. It was totally orchestrated. It was totally like.
It was beautiful.
It was great.
It was beautiful.
Everybody knew except for Poison
For
the Well.
them.
And they thought these guys were going to go up on stage and
Jump off or dance
like
or
crowd
whatever.
surf or whatever. And all of a
They
sudden
took
they
their clothes off.
rip their clothes off and they're like.
And those
it
guys
was
were in
honestly-
tears. They were laughing so hard. I was in tears laughing so hard.
I wish I had I couldn't find the video camera.
None
I
of
do
us.
have photos though. One photograph in particular, I think Ryan from Poison the Well is like checking the guy.
He's like, was it like that?
I think he's like, or something
Jokes.
But
jokes.
you know what I mean? I think, I think
That
that
one?
was great.
That was great. We have a lot of great times out on the road, honestly.
Yeah.
Or we can have fun, just the 4 of us in a room together. It doesn't really matter. But it's great when everyone's really cool and there's no rock star attitude going on.
Yeah.
Are there any bands out there you feel that are pushing the envelope in this music genre? Like any bands that you think are the next wave of something, next big thing?
Kittie.
I think, yeah. Well, why not Kittie? Because we have like this great balance of complete brutal shit, and then we have a balance of beautiful harmonies, beautiful vocals, and catchy things. Something that everyone could appreciate and listen to. I'm a big fan of December. I like them a lot. I'm really curious to hearing them with their new vocalist. I don't know who the hell he is, but he gotta be.
He better be good.
He better be really good.
I'm really excited to hear the new Shadows Fall record. I'm surprised I haven't yet. But
Shadows Fall. I want to hear the new Life of Agony. I wouldn't say they're pushing the envelope. I just love them as a band. But they have their own style.
Music is kind of at a weird time right now. I don't think there's a lot of really groundbreaking bands out there. There's maybe a handful, and that's it. I think music is due for like something big.
I think music's due for one fuck of a shakeup. Like something's
hope
got to
so.
give. I really like the new Dillinger as well, but they've been kicking it and doing their thing for a while, and hopefully more people will catch on to it. But there's really no one that I'm like, oh my god, how did they come up with that? It hasn't been like anything like that that's really like moved me personally. It's just kind of going back to things I listened to before.
Except for Kittie.
Except for Kittie, yeah, exactly, absolutely. But of course. But I'm just saying that there's been nothing that I'm like completely like make my hair stand up. It's been a while.
Yeah, hurry up, music. Come on.